What it do, y'all? It's your boy Steven James, and we back up in this thing, man. This is Ballin' on a Budget Jewelry, because it ain't nothing wrong with balling on a budget. And today, I want to give y'all some helpful advice and tips on what to do and what not to do when it comes to cleaning your jewelry, man. I see a lot of videos, and I got people in my comments saying, you know, I should have did this, I should have did that, whatever. When it comes to these little, these little hacks, when it comes to cleaning your jewelry, man, I'm doing all of that for fun. It really is to like kind of test it out. But at the end of the day, something like Coca-Cola, which is what I did in my last video, is not something that I would recommend. And it worked. It worked and all of that. It got my jewelry clean and all that. But why use Coke when you have a lot of other methods? And a lot of people would say, well, you know, I'm on a budget. I'm trying to do something like, something a little cheap. Do it at home yourself. Like, getting your jewelry clean is not expensive. It's honestly not expensive at all. It doesn't take, a bunch of money. You ain't got to go to your jeweler to get it cleaned. And if you do have a jeweler, whoever sold it to you, if it's somebody local, 9 times out of 10, they'll actually clean it for you for free. Like, it's not an expensive process. But a few things I want to talk about that you definitely don't want to do, and my father actually suggested this in my last video, which is using toothpaste, man. When it comes to toothpaste, most toothpastes are a lot harder and rougher than your metal is or your diamonds. Like, I think people really underestimate how soft gold and silver really is, and they definitely don't see toothpaste as something that's really all that hard. And I'm not really gonna say hard, I'm gonna say abrasive though. And it's a good thing, like when you cleaning things like your grills, your watches, your chains, whatever, when you use things like toothpaste, it works because it's abrasive. Like you have something that's hard enough to, rub off that dirt, get that grime, get some of that tarnish off of your piece. But it's also, it takes it too far. It's too hard in the sense that now you're going to actually scratch your gold and, potentially ruin your plating. Like me, I got white gold. I don't want to ruin the rhodium plating that, that is on there. And things like toothpaste will do that, and then on top of using toothpaste, people always want to use a toothbrush. I don't recommend using a toothbrush. If you do use a toothbrush, it needs to be a baby toothbrush or a really soft toothbrush, not even a medium, definitely not a hard bristle toothbrush. It's not something that you want to use to get your gold clean. And like I said, it'll get it clean when you clean it with your toothpaste and your toothbrush and all these other little hacks and methods like that. You can be potentially getting dirt and grime off of your pieces. So at the end of the day, when you clean it and you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so shiny. But you're not realizing that it's so abrasive that it's actually damaging the metal itself. So, that's something that people don't keep in mind when they're trying to figure out different hacks and things like that. They just try it out. Does my piece look cleaner? Okay, it worked. You know what I'm saying? But they really don't see the damage that they're doing to their pieces in long term. It could do some real damage. Another thing is mouthwash. And while I do use mouthwash for my grills, every time I wear them, before I put them back in my mouth, I make sure that I let them sit in some mouthwash for about 30 minutes. Now, my reason behind that is really just like to sterilize them, just like I would mouthwash my teeth. My teeth have been in here. There's all kind of germs and things like that, so I want to get them out. That's when I would use mouthwash or something like this. But as far as like getting gold clean and all of that, it will get your gold clean. But like I said, it does damage beyond, just getting rid of the dirt and the grime and all of that. If you leave your jewelry inside of mouthwash too long, it will actually start to fade. It'll actually start taking away some of that shine and some of that plating that's on there. So I never recommend using something that could potentially damage your pieces. And my boy HP7 Vlogs, he actually did it and showed the video, because I soaked my grills in mouthwash and I've forgotten about my grills. They sat in there for an hour, 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? And luckily nothing happened, but I think he left his in for like 8 hours or even more, like a really, really long time, and they dulled up. So you know what I'm saying? Like it may seem like it's doing good, and it might be doing good as far as removing what you want to remove, but it might not be. It's not made for jewelry, so that it doesn't necessarily end there when it comes to what it's doing to your jewelry. So also something that I don't recommend. And while these things aren't cheap yet, toothpaste, mouthwash, all of this stuff is pretty cheap stuff you can find around the house. But there's no reason to do it, man, unless you absolutely are in a pinch and have to. There's no reason you should do anything like that. Why? Because your best friend right here, and I'm not going to show you the bottle, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever generic soap you have, this is really all you need. This and some hot water, boiling water, that's all you really need. Put some of this inside of some boiling water. We'll put some boiling water in a bowl, add you a few drops of this dishwashing liquid right here. Put your jewelry in, let it sit, take it out, wipe it off with a baby toothbrush or even a jewelry toothbrush, because a lot of times when you get the little jewelry kit cleaners that you drop your jewelry in, sometimes those will come with like a little brush, and if you notice, those brushes are extremely soft. They're not like, you know what I'm saying, your toothbrush. And that's because we're dealing with gold, man, and your toothbrush is just too hard. A lot of y'all, like I said, really underestimate how soft a toothbrush is, or how soft gold is. But yeah, you just put it in there, you clean it off, boom, your jewelry's clean. You can get you some jewelry cleaner. This right here is a concentrate, so this is gonna go a lot farther than it looks. You mix this with water. I think it's like 5-part water, 1 part this right here. So yeah, for every 5 ounces of water, you put an ounce of this stuff right here. And yeah, this was like $8 or something like that on Amazon. Like, getting actual jewelry cleaner is not expensive. It's not expensive at all. And this stuff does a great job. If you don't have this, soap and water does a great job as well. Like, this is just made for jewelry, so I mean, why not have it? But at the end of the day, it's pretty much just soap and water. And that's all you need. That's going to get your jewelry nice, clean, looking good. If you want to take it a step above, you can get what I got right here in this box, which we're going to be opening up and checking out in my next video. And that is an ultrasonic jewelry cleaner. They're not that expensive. I think this one cost me like 40 or 50 bucks. Small investment for being able to, you know what I'm saying, get your jewelry cleaning to that next level. You know what I'm saying? But there's no reason to do any of these hacks. I'm doing all of this stuff for fun. None of it is practical. None of it really makes sense. Toothpaste and all that ain't really a bad, you know what I'm saying, idea, especially if you have like costume jewelry or like, you know what I'm saying, cheap jewelry, fake jewelry that don't really matter. Yeah, it'll get it nice and clean and all of that. But as far as real jewelry, man, you should really care about this stuff because it costs you a lot of money and you hopefully plan on having it for a long time. So why, you know what I'm saying, do something to it that's damaging? And I understand a lot of people don't know. They you know, they see the before and after, they do this and they see the results and it looks good, but you got to understand that you are damaging your jewelry. Another thing though, and this right here is like greatness. Something else that's super cheap. None of this stuff costs a lot of money. $5, $10, $15, $20 because they make like the little mittens, but these polish rags, they're not that expensive and they do an amazing job, especially like on the fly, like maybe you didn't know, like you just brought your jewelry box and now you're getting ready, you're putting on your clothes and you know you get ready to put your jewelry on and you realize it's not shining the way it's supposed to. You don't have time to sit here and clean it and all of that. Man, look, get you one of these rags. Whip out this rag. The inside actually has like some kind of like cleaning solution on it. You can see this is actually dirty because I actually use this. You know what I'm saying? I used this for my watch not too long ago because I had a wedding to go to and I needed to shine it up a little bit. But man, these things work magic and they do not cost a lot of money, man. You wipe them down real good with the inside. Then you kind of like buff it out with the outside. And man, your jewelry's gonna be shining like no other. I recommend a combination of actually cleaning it and then finishing it up with this polish rag. And yeah, man, it's gonna be looking almost brand new. And this right here was actually free to me. This came with my grill from Dayani. So, you know what I'm saying? And another thing, like I say, don't use mouthwash, don't use toothbrushes. I use mouthwash and toothbrush both on my grill, but it's only like for the inside. Like, I leave it in mouthwash long enough to sterilize the inside. I brush the inside of my grill out, but never the outside. It's never like getting my grill clean as far as like shiny and all of that is never my mentality when I'm using a toothbrush and mouthwash. It's always to sterilize it and get the inside clean. You know what I'm saying? I kind of consider it like brushing my teeth, you know, because I don't want to brush my teeth and then put some grills on that I had on yesterday and like, you know what I'm saying? The bacteria done built up and all of that, like. So yeah, that's like the only thing I recommend using a toothbrush and some mouthwash for. But yeah, other than that, man, that's really like all I got. Just stay away from all the little cheap hacks. None of them are worth it. I mean, why would you soak your jewelry in Coca-Cola? It just doesn't make sense. Soak it in some soap and water. It's soap, it's water. It gets all the dirt off of your pieces, man. Don't use toothpaste because it is too abrasive and it will actually damage your jewelry. Do not use a normal toothbrush like the kind you use to brush your teeth. You got to use something soft because once again, the abrasiveness is just too much for the metal. And with the boiling water, if we just talking diamonds and gold and silver, yes, boiling water and soap. But if you have like semi-precious stones, pearls that aren't really set in all that great, sapphires, like softer stones, ones that you can't really put inside of this machine, and a lot of those stones can't really handle that high temperature, so you want to use hot water. But if we're talking diamonds and gold, boiling water and soap at the least. If you can, get you a bottle of some jewelry cleaner. If you really want to go above and beyond, grab yourself one of these ultrasonic cleaners. And that's about all you need. If you really just want to pay somebody, go take it to a jeweler. They'll clean it, they'll steam it, they'll do all of that if it's really that big of a deal. But yeah, stay away from that. Stay away from the hacks. Toothpaste, mouthwash, it's all a myth. It is, but it's not, because it will get your jewelry clean, but at the same time, you will be damaging your material, man. But hey, y'all stay tuned. We got a really dope video coming up next for y'all. But hey, until then, y'all be safe.